Good morning, friends. Remember in my last video, I discussed about the concept of corpus donation, its utilization and taxability involved. As was mentioned in the video, I have come up with yet another interesting topic on corpus donation where I will discuss the practical aspects and difficulties related to it. Practically, the organizations are facing multiple issues related to corpus donation. We have been receiving innumerable calls to discuss the probable solutions on one or the other matter related to corpus donation. So I have compiled a FAQ, frequently asked questions, on corpus donation, which shall cover all possible important practical issues being faced. Let's discuss them one by one. First and foremost, what about corpus fund already existing in the accounts before 1st April 2021? Are they too need to be kept deposited under section 11 subsection 5 after the amendment? The law is silent on this matter. However, in our opinion, since earlier too the intention of the legislature for corpus donation was the same, it should have been kept invested in the modes so specified. But since the amendment is applicable with effect from assessment year 22-23, that is financial year 21-22, it seems even if such funds was not kept invested, there is no tax implications of the same. Continuation of the first question, if suppose the already existing corpus fund is not kept invested, then how to reflect the same in the income tax return? In Schedule J, Part A1, the same needs to be reflected in column 8, if not kept invested. Next is how to identify where the corpus donations received before 1st April 2021 was utilized if not kept invested or as bank balance. Ideally, the organization should go back to the books of accounts of that particular year in which the corpus was received and then start tracking the expenditure of the following years to exactly trace down the utilization. If practically that's not possible, then if the organization holds any immovable property to its name, the same, if purchased or constructed after the corpus donation was received, can be tagged with it and reflected as against corpus donation. Then comes the question how to reflect the corpus donation in the books of accounts. The corpus fund should be separately recorded and reflected on the face of the balance sheet. The donations received during the year should not be routed through the income and expenditure account, but directly added to the corpus fund in the balance sheet. Also, now since the corpus fund have to be kept invested in the modes specified, it will be better if such invested amount too is tagged and reflected accordingly on the face itself so that the transparency is evident from the financials. We have been also asked that is there any time limit to deposit the corpus amount in the modes so specified? No, since in any case corpus donations shall be received through banking channels, considering that the donors who donate below rupees 2000 in cash does not usually give it for corpus, no time limit is required as such because balance with scheduled banks is in itself one of the modes specified under section 11 subsection 5. At the time of filing ITR 7, the most frequently asked question was how to reflect the corpus donation invested under section 11 subsection 5 in the income tax return. Not only the organizations have to fill column 7 in part A1 of Schedule J, but also in part B of the same schedule while selecting the source of investment from where the investment is made. I repeat, while selecting the source of investment from where the investment is made, corpus have to be selected. Unless both the figures match, the validation error might pop up while generating the JSON file. Another important question is whether the donations received for any specific purpose is also in the nature of corpus. In our opinion, the donations received for any specific purpose are in the nature of restricted donation and not corpus. Any donation should only be considered as corpus when it's specifically mentioned so in the written form by the donor. Such donations, if not routed through income and expenditure, can also be created as a specific fund with the name of the project or purpose, but should not be mixed with the corpus. In continuation to the previous question, What if that specific purpose is for construction or purchase of immovable property? Should then such donation be accounted as corpus? Again, in our opinion, the answer remains the same: no. I understand that investment in immovable property is also one of the modes specified under section 11 subsection 5, but still there is a thin line of difference between the two. Of course, the nature of such donation is also in the nature of capital receipt, and even corpus is considered as capital of the organization, but such donations are specific towards the purpose it has been given, that is, construction of immovable property. While in our opinion, the corpus donations are merely towards the corpus of the organization and no specific purpose is attached to it. It can be utilized for any charitable objects whatsoever whenever required. So, such donations, instead of reflecting as corpus fund, should be recorded as building fund or capital fund, which shall define the basic purpose of the donation. Another question: should corpus be utilized only in case of emergency or for any specified purpose? Yes, the corpus should ideally be utilized in case of emergency only, as that is what the intention of the legislature is. Moreover, in our opinion, in order to identify whether it's corpus or non-corpus donation, the direction by the donor is enough. Usually, for corpus donations, they mention in written form that the donation is towards the corpus of the organization and nothing else. No other purpose is usually attached to the amount donated. Thus, in our view, corpus need not be utilized for any specific purpose, but yes, it should be towards the charitable objects of the organization. The last question: whether the separate bank account is required to be maintained for corpus donation. Now, the law is again silent on this matter. But if you try to interpret the amended law, it says the corpus fund have to be kept invested in the modes specified under section 11 subsection 5, maintained specifically for that purpose. I repeat, maintained specifically for that purpose. Since even the balance in bank accounts are one of the modes specified under said section, this implies that the bank account too should be specific to corpus. However, although there is no such mandate, but maintaining a separate account for corpus is advisable and it shall enable the organization to distinguish it from the other funds. So friends, if you want to get such updates more on the topics related to your charitable organizations, please subscribe our channel and put your notifications on. For any clarification, you can visit our website or you can email us or comment below. Thank you.